Welcome to 5 Minutes of Momentum. These episodes are a short 5-minute burst of inspiration, motivation, and massive action. If you need that little kick up the butt to get things moving and to inspire you to take massive action, then every single Thursday I'll be sending you through a 5-minute episode to download, digest, and implement to finish your week off strong. Are you ready to get started? Let's go. Welcome to 5 Minutes of Momentum. Today I want to talk to you about your goals and whether they're specific enough and whether they're actually measurable. The reason why I wanted to talk to you about this today is because in the beginning of both my masterminds, we've been looking at everyone's goals for our time together and for the next year. And one of the biggest things that I always see is that when people look at their goals, sometimes they'll make clear 1-year goals, but then when I get them to break it down and then set like a 90-day goal, often their 90-day goals are actually a to-do list of things of like, well, this is what I'm going to do, right? These are my tasks that I have to complete. And I want you to know that that's not a goal. It's not a goal. And the clearer we are on the actual outcome that you want to create, the more likely it is that you will actually achieve it. And so many people are just so vague with their goals. They haven't gotten specific enough. And one of the questions I always ask to determine whether your goal is specific enough is, how will you know if you're getting closer or further away from that goal? And if you cannot answer that question, then usually it's not specific enough. So you need to add numbers to it. You need to actually add a timeline to it. You need to be super clear on what is the actual outcome you're trying to create. And one of the biggest things as well, what I see with business owners is that shift from that employee mindset to that CEO mindset is shifting from time spent to actual outcomes and results and making sure that you're delivering value, right? Because you don't get paid based on time in your business, right? I'm sure you know this. You could spend 3 hours working on a social post. It does not mean you're going to get paid for that 3 hours, right? You get paid for the value that you give to the world and the value you exchange for money. So the more that we can be focused on the value and the outcome, the results, the easier it is for us to make sure that we're making progress. And also it helps us feel much more confident in our ability to achieve things if we're actually achieving them. And the one thing I hate to see is women feeling like they're not doing enough, feeling like they're doing all the things but things aren't working. But when we nut it out, it's that they don't know whether they're moving closer to their goal or further away. It's because their goal is not measurable. So they're kind of getting really stuck in that middle piece where they're not really sure whether they are moving closer or further away. So it feels frustrating or it feels annoying. And so this is why I always come back to your goals. Like, how specific are your goals? Are they measurable? Still using like the SMART acronym, but there's 2 extra things that I always add to my SMART goals. So obviously with the SMART acronym, it's specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. And then I always add ER, so smarter goals. E stands for emotion. Are you emotionally driven to actually achieve that goal? So I always ask myself, like, why is it important that I achieve this? And if that answer to that question is an emotional reason why, like it really have to do it, it's a must for me and not just it would be nice, then that's where I know that the emotional connection is there. And then the R is readiness. So how committed are you to achieving that goal? And a lot of the time when we set goals, we can get really stuck in the headspace of like, oh, I should put this on my goals list. Whereas that's not very motivating. You're not going to take any action towards any goal that you're deeming to be a should. You really want to make sure that those goals are really aligned to you and that they're emotionally driven and they are goals that you do want to achieve. So I want you just to check in with yourself now that we're heading into quarter 2. Where are you at with your goals? Review your goals. Don't be hard on yourself. Look at the progress. Determine whether the goals you even set in the first quarter were measurable and start fresh. Start fresh, set some new goals and focus what are you going to achieve for the next 90 days and start taking massive action towards those. The second reason why I feel like this is so key is over the last couple of months, I've been reviewing all my past members as part of my masterminds and reflecting on the ones that did really well and progress and the ones that didn't progress as much as they would have liked. And so what I did is actually looked back on what were some of the common denominators. And one of the clear common denominators were the ones that really succeeded and progressed in where they wanted to go. They were so clear on what they wanted to achieve during the mastermind. So clear that there was not like 7 different goals on the list. It was just one clear goal and like, this is my main priority. And they worked on it. They did the work behind the scenes with a mindset piece and they took the action. They asked for help when they got stuck and they made massive progress. So I want you to check in with yourself and go, okay, so are my goals measurable? Are they clear enough for me? Are they motivating for me? And if they're not, you want to check in with yourself and rewrite new ones because they've got to be motivating. Otherwise, what's the point, right? What's the point? Make sure they're specific enough and clear enough, because you're more likely to actually achieve them if you know exactly where the hell you're going. Let it be your North Star. All right, I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your week.